I am laying in my bed for the first time in a while, probably like 2 or 3 weeks. I don't know. Um, this massage pad in here is not anywhere near as comfortable as the other one that I lay on. But anyway, I'm on here because, as usual, thinking about my daughter. Let's see something. But yeah, as usual, thinking about my daughter and how 2015. So 2015, she was born in 2007, so she was 8, or she was gonna turn 8. She was like 7, and she was gonna turn 8 that year. Oh no, I'm just sitting here thinking. But anyway, that year I was pregnant with my youngest son, and I don't remember all the details, but I know I know that earlier that year I had, when I was like good and pregnant with, well, no, when I was first pregnant with him, and I was trying to hide it. I didn't want to tell nobody. I was my lights had got cut off, and so I had I had went and stayed over at my grandma's, which of course my old house, and I sent my daughter with her people, and it was like, with her so-called people anyway, but because I'm like, duh, I mean, yeah. Nah, but I let her go over there, should I say. And they were supposed to still be responsible for taking her to school and all this or whatever. Um, and I guess it's because 1 week turned into two, two turned into three, and I still wasn't back in my house yet. My power was still off. The boys' dad, so-called aunt or whatever, was across. Of course, she was staying across the street. She was looking or whatever, and she came and she was like, "Oh, basically, like, you having some kind of trouble, issue, or whatever." She come under the guise of trying to be helpful or whatever and beneficial. But yeah, you having trouble or whatever, or I ain't trying to get in your business, but I'm gonna get in your business. And I'm like, "Oh, honey, ain't no shame or whatever. The lights is off. It is what it is." And but my only thing is, they be trying to act like and play savior. You're not saving me. You're doing that conditionally, of course, and you think that I'm gonna bow, that you think that's gonna have me to bow to you. It's not. But anyway, she was like, yeah, this, that, and third, your lights, whatever, whatever. I'm like, I'll take it. And my intentions, I talked to somebody else. I was like, should I give it back? Because I knew I didn't have to or whatever. And she had told me, she was like, you can give it back or you don't have to. But I gave it back. And that's on period. But, but, and so that's the one thing that they know about me is that, baby, you're going to get your stuff back when it comes to me. I don't sit out here trying to get over on people. And, even if they don't acknowledge it, God knows and God sees. There's just certain people that I'm like, yeah, honey, I'm giving it back. Because for one, it's not even that I didn't necessarily know that it wasn't freely given. I just probably sensed somewhere like, this right here has got something attached to it, of course. And I had already dealt with my daughter, so-called, her so-called dad's so-called mom, calling herself trying to do something. And I told her, I was like, honey, that's conditional. You ain't trying to do nothing for me. Trust me, I know. You don't like me, so you ain't trying to do it. And see, I'm not like that. Honey, I don't gotta like you. And I understand you want something back in return. I definitely understand that part. Whether it's respect, whether it's whatever, whatever. But you also need to, if you're gonna do something for somebody, you need to know that a person, a believer especially, knows, like, if you're not doing it from the heart, then you shouldn't do it. But if you're just doing it to because you think that person is going to bow and submit to you, then you don't need to do that. You think that person going, oh, you need to really freely give it her to do it. But anyway, not trying to go around why I got on here. She did that, and it was all because I was waiting on some money to come in. Granted, I should have had help from the boys' dad because he had either was it prior to that happening? When did it happen? Yeah, I don't know. He had still been coming by and stuff like that. Mr. Spend a night bag and all that. And that's why I don't want to be bothering him. That's why I felt good when that dude was either removed or stopped or whatever. That's what I want you. I want him to, in which he's turned around or backed away or whatever before. I want to go ahead and continue. You might think about, oh, I can go here. This is just the place, and turn around and think again. Back on the way, I was about to say buddy, brother. Uh, but yeah. Granted, he could have helped me, and even my daughter's so-called dad could have helped as well. Neither one of them helped. He wanted to, her dad definitely wanted to see me go through certain stuff, and I guess how I was gonna make it through. Um, I can't remember what it was regarding my so-called mom, but one thing about it, if I would have asked her, she would have gave it. But I was grown, so I just decided, I'm good. But if I would have asked her, she would have gave it to me. As far as, monetary or whatever. More than likely, should I say. I would have been surprised if she wouldn't because, she just usually is not like that. If she had it, she was going to do it. But, like I said, as far as money, now, it might not be on other stuff. But I definitely didn't ask my so-called dad. I don't even want to repeat some of the stuff that he said to me when I've asked him for certain stuff or whatever. But anywho, like I said, the boys' dad definitely could have. It was 2015. We got into it earlier that month, I think. And yeah, he was on some other stuff as far as, I guess, um, staying away or maybe even under a no contact order or whatever. And so, um, yeah, he didn't really help like that or do anything or whatever. It was in March and April, I think, of that year, somewhere around there. It had to be, because I know that's when my previously called cousin's husband had passed or whatever. Had got killed in the accident, in drunk driving accident. And so, yeah, I was over there or whatever. Like I said, I don't remember all the details, but it should help. But I allowed my daughter to go with, it was really with her dad, but her dad put her off on his so-called mom. He does that all the time. He did that every time, and I just be like, and and it got to the point where he started saying, oh, he communicated to me, oh, she can't stay here over here or whatever. And I even allowed my daughter to go even one time when she was being disrespectful. She was disrespecting me by just pulling off with my daughter in the car because I was telling her to tell her son, this is what needs to go on regarding her school. She just didn't like me saying nothing to her or telling her to deliver a message to her son, period. And I mean, you could just tell, why should he help or do what you want him to do? Or, you know what I'm saying? It's something along them lines. I know it's deeper, but I'm just leave it right there. So I'm just like, Lord have mercy. Are you retarded or just damn stupid? So I just left it or whatever. Like, granted, of course, her dad was her so-called dad was definitely in love with me, definitely in like with me, definitely in lust, and that's on both our parts. But yeah, he cared for me in a deep type of manner. And I mean, it's deep, deep. And my daughter is she's not the spitting image of me that I say, but she looks similar to me and stuff like that, and especially when I was younger. So he had an attraction to me and all that. And I don't, honey, I hope that he would die before he had any type of unhealthy and toxic attraction to my daughter. But I think it's fine to be just like my sons. They look similar to their dad, and you know, their dad's attractive to me and stuff like that. Physically attractive, but it's nothing unhealthy. But yeah, heck yeah, you know what I'm saying. I have that, like I said, healthy attraction to my sons, which I'm thankful. It helps me to like them. It helps me to enjoy them and stuff like that. But, but yeah, so you gotta know that her dad is going to be attracted to her in a certain type of way because, I'm her mom. Anyway, I didn't even mean to go there, but I was talking about how they took her and kept her and stuff like that while I was pregnant. And then it was one time where it was like, oh, she can't stay here and all that. And I knew it was coming from his mom. I knew it wasn't coming from him. I knew it was coming from her. And I'm like, oh, honey, my daughter can come home anytime. It's like another time she wanted to go to the movies and this, that, and that. I said, honey, my child can come home. Because before I had made a big, I raised hell and I made a big deal. Because I was out doing something when I was younger. And I was like, oh, I got stuff to do. I'm not finna get her. Of course, me personally, I'm going to stop. If I know and feel the Spirit of God leading me, you need to stop and get your child, I'm going to get my child. I was out hanging out. I was younger. Granted, I wasn't doing nothing that was productive for the kingdom, for the upbuilding of the kingdom, but I was, well, not directly. Indirectly, I was. Indirectly, it's going to help y'all. It's going to help you to take care of your child, you know what I'm saying? Or have that responsibility. So his mama wanted to bring my daughter home. I was like, no, you could call your son. You could tell him to stop what he's doing. Stop trying to bring my child. Um, Stop trying to bring her home just because y'all feel like y'all got something to do. No. You want responsibility, relationship? This is what we finna do. So, um, but no, they wanted to go ahead and, she wanted to go ahead and do it. And that's when we got into that, like, physical altercation type thing or whatever. And she brought him over. I guess my so-called mom, that's when my so-called mom interfered and was like, oh, I'm going to just let her bring her over here. And I was like, y'all, you know what I'm saying? Y'all don't need to interfere with that. Y'all don't need to get in that or anything like that. Granted, I'm thankful that, my daughter made it home in one piece or made it, back around me and stuff in one piece. But no, honey, that ain't how it work. Whenever you ready to stop and do something, just because you don't want to be responsible for taking care of a child, for my man, you know what I'm saying? That you literally act like you beg for and this, that, and the third. Um, you just want to stop whenever it's inconvenient or whatever. No, no, no. Granted, she's old enough mentally. Um, I meant mentally. She's old enough by age, of course, to be somewhere by herself. But children still need to be watched. Teenagers and everything, especially my kids, baby. Because I've been with them so much anyway. And they know. But, because, yeah, they gonna try to wild out. But, and draw all types of attention and everything, honey. I'm gonna say they may. I'm not gonna say they will, because, honey, let these boys try to cut the dang on food. Just because I'm not sitting there watching. I'm not saying that they wouldn't. I'm not in denial or not naive to that, to them ever trying it, but, um, yeah, it was just crazy though. It was that once that year, it was like, we gonna bring her, we gonna, whatever. But I was hiding my pregnancy. Nobody knew that I was pregnant again. So when they found out I was pregnant again by the boys' dad, that's when they tried to do something and act like they was keeping her and stuff. Then when I was pregnant and I wanted to send her, okay, well, I'm gonna send her over there with y'all or whatever because I need to go have my baby and this, that, and the third. He told me to go to hell. Just mad. Not just mad, but mad along with some other stuff because I was pregnant with somebody else's child. Again. Uh, oh well. Definitely should have did what you're supposed to do when you was dealing with me, involved with me, not when you had me, because baby, he ain't never had me like that. So, um, it's just funny though. But they sent my, I was gonna get my child one time, and then his so-called mom, just to spite me, you going with your dad. She sent her with her dad, didn't never, you know what I'm saying, send my child. I'm like, I don't give a damn that, you know what I'm saying, that she going with her dad. She need to, especially at that time when she was younger. It's just the disrespect, and it's definitely the way you did it. And she sent her or whatever. They wouldn't tell me where her location was, what she going to a camp. I think it sounded like I said she was 7 or 8 years old, so she could pretty much tell me some locations and where she was at. But she was young and she was focused on trying to enjoy whatever and take in whatever wherever they sent her or whatever. And what else happened? So yeah, it was something to try to stress me out and all that. Just anything to try to make sure that I didn't live a good life. Like one thing about me, I might not agree with people, and it might get to the point where I just disagree with them so much that it just tries to stress them out. But I don't be petty and stuff, and I don't do that stuff for vain reasons. I don't do that to be spiteful or anything like that. I did that because that's the decision that I had to make. And I know I said this more than once. And so they call themselves responding and trying to retaliate or whatever. And you retaliate into something, that I guess you either misunderstanding, you ignorant about it, or you just really don't give a damn or whatever. But, yeah, you just really don't give a damn about being petty. Oh, honey, my little heated blanket done turned off. And we can't have that. 'Cause it's a little chilly. I ain't turned that air on. I mean, heat on. So the other point I was gonna make is when she was gone with them that time, and I was complaining to the boys that I was like, yeah, they done took my daughter and this, that, and third, and I remember him. I don't even know what all. If we had a conversation, I could probably go back and find it or whatever. But I remember him asking, did they bring her home yet? Did he bring her back yet? And I know I was telling them, no, they ain't, or either yeah, they did, or whatever. I don't know. It might be in an email or something like that. But I don't know what he was thinking, or, did he think, oh, she deserved to go through that? I don't know. It's like, again, one of them people, if so, that's one of them people that's, y'all riding in the same boat, and that person drilling holes in the boat. Instead of helping you to paddle, basically wanting you to sink so bad, but forgetting that they in the boat too, dummy. I have to laugh. It's just amusing to me. But I don't know if he was laughing. He didn't laugh in my face or anything like that. I don't think. But he was just asking, and it might have seemed to me like it was concern. But literally, I guess it was. I was fooled, thinking it was, and it's like I don't give a damn what happened to her or her daughter and this, that, and the third. But so just brings up to speed as far as him making the call and sending her over there, and just again, getting her dad to come by here or whatever, and then again, just and then knowing that I've been through it before, and sure, he genuinely might have been hurt, and I mean, I know it's not, it's probably abnormal to think that somebody should not be hurting when they lose a loved one or something like that, a so-called loved one, should I say. But I'm really literally being real when I say I don't know whether he was, I know he felt something, but I don't know whether he was truly hurt when his mama passed on. And I'm saying that to say, because I know I was like, I'm glad she gone. Like, I didn't feel no type of hurt or anything. You know, I didn't really feel nothing like that. Like I said, I felt what God allowed me to feel, and that was grief. Like, and that was before she passed. That was the day before she passed. But I didn't feel no type of hurt, because I just felt like she was so. I felt like, and I knew that she was just this evil person. Now, was she that every minute of every day? I don't. I doubt it. But how many hours we got in a day? Good 23 hours and 59 minutes. Out of every day. But no, and I wasn't around her like that, so I'm not gonna say it like that, but somewhere in the vicinity. And so I'm not gonna say that he wasn't hurt, but I did feel like he shouldn't really be hurt. He should be rejoicing that somebody like that is removed from his life, because he said that she was evil. He said my mom's evil. He said it like he embraced her being evil. I mean, that's your mom, but you don't gotta embrace everything about her or whatever. That's how I felt. That's where my mindset was. So, but anyway, I'm saying all that to say, I feel like he shouldn't have, and I feel like he felt some type of way, because I wasn't afraid to say, basically, the witch is dead and this, that, and the third, so to speak. And he knew that she had that stuff with her. And just like similar to my daughter's so-called, that he know regarding his own, and I always call his mama Mammy for real, but he know regarding her. And he don't even really embrace her. He been a long time ago trying to get me to go at it with his so-called mom. But I'm like, girl, for one, she's definitely protective of her son. It was definitely in an unhealthy and not in a toxic way and stuff like that. So, honey, you definitely don't try to come between. That wasn't my intentions anyway, but you don't never. I learned you're not changing his mind and stuff like that, especially not in front of his mama. Now, behind closed doors, whatever, you can get him to change his mind or feel another type of way or whatever, until she get right back in his presence and convince him again. So I just be like, whatever, girl. But they sick her or whatever. They didn't take her when I was pregnant. He told me to go to hell. I was trying to send her over there so I can go have my baby without having her there. But thank God that my late grandma was around and she didn't mind watching the kids and letting them stay there with her. And at the time, she was somebody, I mean, she had always been somebody that I could trust with my kids. So I was thankful for that. Because I literally pretty much just didn't and don't. And I still feel like I don't have nobody that I can trust with my children at all. Not nobody. Like, they don't have good intentions. Like I said, the man who recently passed away, I was letting my son go to the organization. Yeah, I let him go, but I wasn't fully trusting him. I trusted God with my son. I prayed over my son every time that he would make it back safely, that he would know what to do in the event something happened. And even with that whole situation, I feel like that's one less person or one less being or entity, whatever he had operating or whatever behind the scenes, that would be prone to even bother with my son, or my kids, period. But yeah, definitely my son and my sons. And, that's just one less. Ain't no telling how many is left out here or, to be on the prowl. But I don't feel like the boys' so-called dad. And like I said, I don't know what he was doing internally, because he wouldn't really tell me nothing. He tried not to show it often, especially to me. He didn't really want to open up when it came to me. And I told him, I was like, oh, and he told me one time, he was like, you make me feel like, and I wasn't laughing at him, but I think I giggled a little bit, and maybe a little too hard for him, and so he just kind of shut down. I was like, boy, and trust me, I know how that feels. I don't be wanting to be vulnerable like that either, but I would have definitely loved him. I wasn't in love, I felt in love with him. Let me start saying felt in love, because I always say I was in love with him, but I definitely felt very in love with him, who I thought he could be, and this, that, and the third. But I definitely loved him when he was like that, honey. When he was just like, ugh, let me just relax a little bit, because I've been out here cutting the damn food for real. Let me just calm down. But he would never stay in that state of mind when it came around. When he came, he'll snap into it real quick, but after that, it's over. Drinking my eternal water. So good. They actually had the size that I wanted today, the size packages and cases that I wanted today. But anyway, I loved when he was like that, and I wanted him to just lead by example and continue to just be, open and transparent and stuff like that, and tell me how he feel, or tell me how I made him feel, or whatever. And shit, I don't know. My problem was I didn't even really let him finish it, but he was like, "Yeah, you make me feel like," and I'm like, "Oh, I got you in your feelings. That's sweet." And I told his ass before his mama died, I said, "Yeah, you about to get in your feelings too, for real." And I wasn't, when I said that, I wasn't thinking, oh, this, that, and the third, this was gonna happen. But I said it, and I just spoke it out, and I was like, "Yeah, you about to get in your feelings too, baby." And lo and behold, of course that probably took him there, but this is one thing about him. He one that'll tell somebody quick. Me personally, I don't care about your feelings. You better get out and he'll tell me, get out your feelings. But that's, and that's not really healthy. I mean, people need time to feel their feelings and process and stuff like that. But he would tell me that, and for me, if I want to snap back and be like, well, better get out your damn feelings, But this is that was it. That was for me. That was it. I'm just like, I'm not trying to tell him to get out his feelings no more. It is what it is. Really need to feel he really needed to feel his feelings and stuff like that, and go through those motions and stuff like that. So, I haven't been around I didn't never see him cry for his mom. I definitely seen him like feel a little strain or whatever, but he didn't cry in front of me regarding his mom. And it happened for him like where he was not around me when she died and stuff. So he didn't let out them tears and stuff like that. And it's not that I wouldn't be concerned for him. Wouldn't have been, excuse me, let me correct myself. Wouldn't have been concerned for him if he was around me, but I would not have been concerned. I would have been focused on the fact that you need to be rejoicing more so, because again, I mean, and I can't, that's his mama. And just me being the mother that I am, I'm not evil to my kids. I'm not mean to my kids. I ain't gonna sit here in front. They have described me as mean when I've allowed them to, but they still gave me like a high rating when I asked them to rate me on a scale of like 1 to 10. They gave me like a 9, 10. I don't even think none of them gave me a 9, but this was all 3 of them. So my kids know I haven't been evil to them. Kids know when you have been evil to them and stuff like that. So that was my thing, baby. Celebrate. Evil is gone. I know it's tough. I know that's somebody that raised you. And like I heard something tonight where it's like God will allow even a reprobated person to survive just to raise you, because he wants you here and he wants something from you in your life. And then after that, they can be gone. So I wanted him at that level, whatever, but he just wasn't. I thought that he would and could be there, and I believe that he could, but he just kept certain people around, so it just was a stagnant type of thing when it came to that. And of course, some way, somehow, before she died, she got him to go somewhere in another vicinity where he would be able to just hold on to her and hang on and stay in a place of, having somebody probably speak a certain way about his mom that wasn't true, wasn't fully true, or was based on deception, because she wouldn't I don't know, because if they agreed with her, then of course, when you agreeing with somebody, they good with you. When you disagreeing, they show they colors. Now, if you can deal with somebody that's disagreeing with you, you can still love that person and still care for that person and still keep your so-called cool. So, he been at that place or whatever. But yeah, for him to, so basically I just feel like it was definitely, it's been a lot of spite, of course, with him, with the jail time stuff and making that call and stuff and wanting my daughter out. And again, he didn't get his boys out. He just knew that it would bother me. And it definitely put a strain on me if my daughter wasn't here with me. And then, not to mention, I feel like he feels a type of way towards my daughter, to be honest. But whatever. It's not my problem that you don't love your kids, or you might not be capable of loving your kids the way that I do. You can learn from me and apply it, or you can sit back and keep on watching or whatever and feel salty and bitter or whatever. And I just didn't know that males really did stuff like that and felt like, you know what I'm saying? And might as well be honest with myself and realize that, hey, it can happen. They can feel like that as well. But I did not think that males would feel jealous of a mother raising her kids. I thought he would admire it and stuff like that, and then want to join in and team up. So I'm gonna cut it right here because I think this one is gonna turn off, and I just didn't want it to turn off on me. I'm gonna upload.